Dr. Sasa, welcome to the program. Can I start by asking you about the deadly force that the junta is using against protesters? Amnesty International is saying that its strategy has turned to shoot to kill the protesters. Do you believe that's what's happening on the ground in Myanmar?
Unfortunately, I'm afraid that is true and fact. It's getting worse and worse because they have been declaring the war against its own people. So the snipers are on the trees, snipers are on the floor, on the roof, and they are on everywhere, and they are just shooting. And this is just so sad to see. This happened again and again. It have happened in 1888. It happened 97. It happened 2007. It happened 2017, and now in my lifetime, 2021, we have seen this crime against humanity.
Let me just read you what the UN Special Rapporteur for Myanmar has said. He is basically saying that the junta is shooting down people in cold blood using 12-gauge shotguns, 38mm rifles, semi-automatic rifles against peaceful protesters who pose no threat. You've just talked about snipers in at high points taking aim. What do you think the aim of the junta is now? Because up until now, they were using water cannon, they were using rubber bullets. Why do you think now, a month after the coup, they have turned to this escalation of live fire?
In the way, it's not surprising. That's exactly what happened in 1988. That's what happened in 1997. That's what happened in 2007. That's what happened in 2017, and now it's happening again. So it's like repetition of the same crime against humanity. And I'm afraid this is what has been happening to ethnic minority states like Kachin, Karen, Rakhine, Shan, Chin. This is what we have been living on for the last 50 years. They are bringing the bombs by the fighter jets. It seems like they have the license to kill. They have the license to rape, the license to torture, and the license to crime against humanity.
Dr. Sasa, you mentioned all these ethnic minorities. Of course, the world knows about the attacks and the brutality against the people of Rakhine State. We've seen how the Rohingya have been pushed out of Myanmar. So we understand that. We put that into context. And I want to ask you this because we also spoke to the UN Special Envoy for Myanmar, as you know, Christine Schreiner Burgener. She said this to us. I want to play what she told us about the protesters themselves.
This is the only thing they can do to resist and in this peaceful mean, because in my view, the Tamado, the army, is just waiting that also people will take arms and defend themselves. So it's very dangerous. And I beg the people in Myanmar not to fall in this trap, so to stay peaceful, but it's clearly very easy to say from a safety zone.
So, Dr. Sasa, she is begging the people of Myanmar, your people, not to fall into the junta's trap. Do you also, would you reiterate that call? Do you beg the people also not to resort to violence themselves, not to get trapped by the military into doing that, and then, maybe an even worse crackdown?
The people of Myanmar are brave, courageous, and peaceful. This is a peaceful country. We are peaceful people. No one is making any violence except this illegitimate, illegal military dictatorship regime. So it's a very, very difficult for me to see our people will take guns or any weapons to against the Tamado. There never was ethnic minorities or any other group of people in Myanmar who come and take weapons and against the Tamador or the military regime. It was always this military regime, dictatorship that go after ethnic people, that go after marginalized people, and that go after the most vulnerable people. So, I mean, I don't think that my people will be, taking any kind of weapons against, anyone. There's no history in my country that the people of Myanmar against the police forces or the army forces. In some cases, we are just defending ourselves because they came to our door and they pointed the smoky guns to us. So in that kind of situation, of course, maybe some area they may try to protect themselves. But I think that they should not be the people should not be subjected to blame into any violence. All these violence are caused by the military junta.
Nobody's blaming them. Everybody's just very concerned about them. Let me just read you something which shows their bravery, obviously, as you know. We've seen pictures of badges that a lot of the protesters are wearing. They're saying, and they put their blood type there, "Don't save me if it's not certain that I will recover my full health. I want to donate all my organs that are still of use. With thanks." And this is Sanda Ku, and we have translated this and verified that name. It is quite extraordinary what the peaceful protesters are doing. Can I ask you personally about your story? You escaped the day of the coup. I think you were with Daw Aung San Suu Kyi. Tell me what happened on that day and how you were able to flee to safety as you are now.
I mean, I was supposed to take part in the formation of the government, and I was to take some senior role in the government. But we wake up in the morning of the 1st of February, and we saw ourselves locked down, and we saw everywhere the military. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. Elected officers, members of parliament who were elected by the people of Myanmar, for the people of Myanmar, they all saw themselves being locked up by the military generals. It was the very, very terrible. I mean, it's intimidating. It was torturing on the face of democracy and the freedom that we want. And so I was asked to leave as soon as possible so that I can speak out about it. So I have to dress as taxi driver and with taxi driver, and that way it take me 3 nights and 3 days nonstop traveling from there to where I am, and be a little bit more safer. So it was terrible.
Have you been in touch with Aung San Suu Kyi since?
No, no one. They all are be silenced by guns. I mean, so even her lawyers cannot see her. So we are worried and concerned about her health. We don't know what's happening to her. And our president, Wu Min, is being detained illegally, the same with her. So there's several people, more than thousands, have been illegally detained by illegal governments, illegal dictatorship. So, I mean, 54 people of Myanmar are under siege by military illegitimate governments. It seems to me that they are trying to create a situation so that the people will come out with anger so that they can kill them all by automatic guns, weapons. So, I mean, they has created a situation where this will happen. So it's a very, very worrying and concerning.
So, Dr. Sasa, you said you had to escape in order to be able to tell the world what's going on. You're telling us now, but you are part of a group that is, of sort of a shadow government, and you are liaising with the UN. What are you telling the UN? What do you want to tell the international community? And what do you think you can get them to do?
First, we need the protections. The people of Burma are protectless. There's no one who will protect them. And this illegal military regime has declared the war on the people of Myanmar. So no one is safe. So number one, we need safety. That means the international community have the responsibility to protect when the state failed to protect its own people. So we are asking international community to look at that. And secondly, We need international community to recognize and work with democratically elected member of parliament. And in coming months, coming weeks, we are going to form this interim government. When we form interim government, there will be alternative government against this illegitimate military-run governments. So we are asking international community to recognize the November 8, 2020 election, where the people of Myanmar have spoken loud and clear. They have chosen us to represent them, and now it's been silenced. So free and democratic world cannot silence with the generous. They must stand up with us. They must uphold the will of the people of Myanmar, and they must help us to uphold the will of the people of Myanmar. People of Myanmar, my people, are not asking money. We are not asking anything. We are asking that we gain back our freedom. We want freedom. We want justice. We want democracy. We want federal. We want peace. So if we have that, we have everything.
Dr. Sasa, thank you so much for joining us and putting your case for the people of Myanmar for the world to hear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christian.